GM friends. Hopefully you can hear me. We're doing our regular Coder Dan Discord dance, so just bear with us for a second as he comes back in. Hopefully you're having a good morning.
Hello, everyone. GM.
GM Coder Dan.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. My son is coming to visit me, so he's out actually in the living room right now. So I'm plotting out some potential video content, seeing some of his reactions playing some of our games. So it's kind of
Oh, sick.
exciting.
How old is he, man?
He's 13, so he's going to be
Nice.
good feedback for because he's a gamer. He's very much into Roblox, so I think the whole metaverse appeal, like trying to talk to someone who's actually actively playing these games all the time and get some feedback, will be really cool. But we're going to be going to some festival today, so hopefully we can do it in the next day or two.
Cool. Yeah. Would love to hear his feedback.
Yeah, definitely. White Ranger, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Pretty
Doing good.
good. Pretty good.
How's my audio coming through? Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Awesome. Yeah, just been, building video games like I've always wanted to.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, got my developer going, and then I saw where we have like a feature arcade event in Detroit for that event. So I'm gonna hopefully have a build ready by then for like an in real life like a bracket tournament.
That gaming machine's gonna be popular, man. We need more of them to play all these games in real life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to push a proposal. It's just like, where are we gonna physically locate them, and
Yeah.
how are we gonna get them to point A to point B? Is kind of the logistical issue, really.
Yeah, I think we can't fit two in Light Piglet's car, probably, right?
Yeah, I think he's renting a vehicle because he
Oh,
said it
okay.
doesn't fit his. Well, with the actual machine would,
Right.
but the stand, I don't know that the stand is pretty big. Maybe maybe we can just do like an Aavegotchi box truck. I'll just put that in the proposal.
Yeah, I like 184. What is it? 1984. Winning IRL Gotchi Lodge with arcade room. Seriously, we're getting a lot of real life possessions here. We're gonna need a physical location to store them all. Getting there.
I mean, early on, I talked about us buying a town. So
Can we just rename it Gotchi County, Gotchi City?
yeah, I mean, it'll be our town, whatever.
Where would that be? Wyoming?
I don't know. You can like Google like cheap towns for sale. Like it is a thing. Like it's not. It's a lot, but it's not impossible.
Ghost Town.
Ghost town would be really cool.
If Ghost goes to like $50, the Dow can probably buy a town with it.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
And call it Ghost Town. Yeah, it's have you guys ever read The Network State by Balaji? Anyone reading that?
I haven't, but I mean, I see that as the inevitability of crypto. It does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. It's really great. It's like an ebook he's got online. But part of it is that eventually, you can't just be fully digital. Eventually, at some point, the network state needs to start owning territory in the real world. So that would be a cool extension of Aavegotchi if one day we were able to own a town.
Yeah, step one was the arcade machine, and then step two is a arcade to put it in, and then the surrounding buildings.
One free apartment for everyone holding Gotchi. That'd be lit. That would be lit. Well, we got
Yeah, we could tax the gotchis instead of the citizens.
we've had a pretty exciting week here this week, building up to some really exciting stuff coming coming next week. Wish I could talk more about it, but definitely everyone keep your eyes peeled for some big announcements on X. Lots of stuff been cooking, starting to build some momentum up for a certain chain. And let's see, do we have Golden Cross on the call here yet? He's going to be coming soon. Got some Gotchiverse alpha to share. Yeah, phase when you own land in Aavegotchi but not IRL. Maybe the land, maybe that's the ultimate airdrop if we were able to buy a town. All the landlords in the Gotchiverse get a plot. That'd be sick. Let's see what else is yesterday we announced rarity farming. Everyone see that blog post and the X post that went out. Season 9. Here we go. Let me find the post here. There it goes. And we put the highlights out. Lots of blog post is going real these last couple days. And yep, I see Circon there. We did finally get our 8th parcel survey. Get some more Alchemica on the parcels there. Anyone get any good rolls?
I didn't really check my roll as far as percentages, but I do know the timing was perfect. Like my girlfriend was like, "Hey, you gotta roll the dice here. We're out of Alchemica."
Is she your Alchemica accountant?
Yeah, I did have like scholars doing it and stuff, but she just said do it 50-50. So I split. It's a 50-50 split with her, and she just handled it.
Hell yeah. The girlfriend scholar. Very cool. Or now, isn't she fiance now?
Yeah, she is upgraded to fiance.
Anywhere to see percentages. I think one of the sites, was it Adventure.io or something, had a place to check the percentages, but I might be hallucinating that. After marriage, 99% of Alchemica. That's true.
That's funny. I want to tell her that.
Oh, nice. Adventure.io does have it. Showing Sergey doesn't hate you, man. You got to buy him a hamburger, and he'll be better to you. So I'm excited for rarity farming. This is going to be our probably one of the most interesting seasons. We have Gotchi Battler is coming in with 20% of all the rewards. So 300K allocated to Gotchi Battler in this season. That's going to be really interesting. I don't know if I don't see Immaterial on the call yet, but I know they're cooking up some new stuff for Gotchi Battler, getting that balance in. And last season was pretty damn exciting from what I saw. The Titans are clashing. And now we have Limitless. I was actually having a shower thought. Is Light Piglet on the call? Are we gonna get like a Limitless prediction market for who's gonna win rarity farming, or is that like too too easily kind of persuaded. Like, will slide win rarity farming rarity leaderboard? I guess it would be pretty easy for him to manipulate that, so maybe it's not a good idea. Yeah, yeah. It'd be like a hedge bet for slide. But I do love this idea of having kind of derivative prediction of some of our gotchi events. Like Piglet, what's the reason? Is it because he can easily manipulate the outcome? Is that why we don't want to do anything related to rarity farming? Yeah. Darn. I'll have to think on that. Maybe some other rarity farming related things we could do.
Could we theoretically bet on I guess the over under of the minimum score to rank in the top 7,500? So not like who's going to win, but what's
Right.
the lowest BRS you can get? Because that feels like it's harder to game.
Yeah. So what will the cutoff be for earning on the rarity leaderboard? And you can only do option, like, you can't do multiple options, right? It's like either yes or no. You can't be like it's going to be 520 or 510 or 540. Has that number have I haven't really followed it that closely, but has that number gone up over the seasons? The cutoff for, like, I know it has for kinship obviously and XP, but for BRS, does the number generally, has it increased over the last couple seasons? I guess it would, because there's gotchis being sacrificed, right?
Also, I guess aging mechanic points as
Right.
time goes by.
Slightly, yeah. Yeah, and spending those points makes sense. I've been playing a lot of Guardians this week. Technically, I was supposed to be on vacation this week, but I got COVID and ended up not going. So I've been playing a lot of Guardians. And man, that game is all the items and stuff. It's getting really fun. T-Bird was kicking my ass, and a couple other people. But I think I actually didn't. I think I beat T-Bird in one game, even though he was level 16. I'm level 2. Anyone else playing Guardians? We've been doing some game nights. I know Midnight Ghost has been hosting a few game nights every week. Those are kind of alpha if you guys are not going to those. So some good ghosts to be won at those game nights. Yeah, Schnitzel Death knows what I'm talking about. Phase, just got to practice, man. We haven't even gotten the real gotchi like part in yet, but that's coming. There's this idea, like right now, if you guys have played it, you've seen with how we have the guardians that, for example, like the knight, if you choose a certain skill, it equips a wearable on your gotchi. So if you put all the different skills on your knight guardian, it eventually wears all of the guardian clothes. But there's an idea. It's going to take some work, and it's not going to happen immediately. But there's an idea to be able to like have an NFT version of the guardian where you hook up your gotchi, and then it gives you those skills if you have the similar wearables. So like even if you don't have the Citadel sword, you might have like a similar weapon, and that would also give you a version of that skill. So there's a lot of balancing and stuff, but eventually We don't have the NFT gotchis in yet, but man, we really want to get them in. There's just a couple other kind of higher priority things, but eventually you will be able to play with your own gotchi and gotchi guardians, and that's going to be really fun. So I would suggest you guys get some practice and start leveling up your guardians too, because right now they do have a new XP system. Every time you play and I think get in the top 4, or even if you just play a match with real people and you play to the end, you can earn some XP and you can level up your guardians. That's pretty sick. Yeah, Midnight Ghost is a great host. She's crushing it. But yeah, we just need more people playing so everyone can get some XP. Otherwise, you're playing kind of against AI, which you guys are saying that the hard AI is like too easy, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I cannot consistently beat the hard AI. Maybe I need to level up my gotchi to my guardian, but I need some tips because I'm once in a while I'm able to beat it with, and I have like literally I have like 5 HP left and I barely beat the AI. You guys are already being like, give us like a godlike AI to play. It's like, man, definitely a skill gap. AI needs to be harder. All right. We'll try and request a and I think it's insane level AI where it's just probably starts with like 10x the gold. I mean, you're playing against hard AI and it's giving you licks on like round 2 sometimes. So how am I supposed to kill these licks, man? If anyone wants to come up and chat about anything, feel free. We got a kind of open stage here today. All right, you sounds like you guys really want some hard AI. The SFA one, the SFA AI, those are basically just punching bags because we haven't really spent a bunch of time on them. But they will get. We're now the whole team is fully working on Gotchiverse. Actually, this was the first. This is like the first week of a sprint where the team is working fully on the Gotchiverse.
I did launch the website for the project I'm working on. I can put it in the chat. People want to start joining up. I do have some money for like some bounty programs and stuff. My main dev right now is getting all the files cleaned up, but I do have the GitHub running and everything. I'll post the site with the links.
Sick. Always love to try some new games. It's a great name too. Battleverse.ai. I was looking at the new Third Web SDK, and I think they also now support Godot. So I don't know if you guys have done any wallet stuff with Battleverse yet, but if you do, I think they now support Godot with the Unity SDK, or not? Oh, it's now just the SDK.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll make note of that. You said say it again.
It's like yeah, the Third Web. I think it's like the V5 of their SDK. Yeah, Third Web is making some big moves. They're really going deep into the gaming side of their SDK. probably deeper than I've seen any other team work on. So we're going to be
Yeah,
using them
that's
for.
exciting.
They're very open to feedback. Like we've pitched some ideas about. They have this new thing called the ecosystem wallet. I don't know if anyone has seen that yet. That was kind of something that we were like pushing them to do because we need it. So what that is you can the issue that we have is on Gotchi chain. They have this. Well, Third Web, the way that they generally handle games is like each DApp or each game has its own client ID, and so what the issue that has is that if I go to like Aavegotchi and I sign in with a social login on Aavegotchi.com, and then I go over to like Battleverse, and they also have their own client ID because it's like it's not a shared account. Everyone's got their own account. And if I sign up with my social login over there, the generated wallet address is going to be different because the client ID is different. So we told them, we're like, hey, that's, we would like to, we don't want to have to share our client ID with everyone because it's like not safe. But at the same time on Gotchi chain, we don't want everyone to have to have different generated wallet addresses for everything, for every game they play. We want you guys to be able to come and like log in with your Gmail and have one single wallet address across all the different games. So they have worked on that feature, and it's called ecosystem wallets. So that's pretty cool that we'll be using that. So that means that like every game that you log into with as long as you log in with the same email, you will get the same like social login.
So are you gonna add Battleverse to your ecosystem?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how we add it. I haven't played with it enough yet. Going to be looking into it very soon here. But yeah, I mean, any Gotchi game that is like on Gotchi chain will be able to plug into that, as long as you're using the Third Web SDK for logging in.
Yeah, luckily I'm early enough in the project where I can just establish that now.
Yep. Yeah, right now there's really only 2 players that are doing like Unity. There's Third Web, and then Sequence is the other one. Sequence has been making some big moves too. They're doing a lot of like big partnerships with Web 2 companies. Like I saw they did a partnership with Ubisoft recently. They're also very, very cool, and they have a lot of good tech. Third Web is just a little bit lighter on the integration side, and we've kind of already integrated it. So we're gonna probably stick with Third Web because they're doing really good work. But yeah, Sequence is also a good option. Golden Cross, GM, sir.
Yeah, hello. How we doing, friends?
Pretty good.
Cool. Don't mind me. I'm kind of like whispering, depending on if the door's open or not. Just as I telling the baby, I'm like, I gotta go join the community call. Could you just go to bed? It's just like not taking no for an answer. So, Grandma has stepped in to help deal with that
Nice.
situation.
Clutch, Grandma.
Yes. Clutch, very clutch.
Now we we're
yeah.
just chatting about Third Web and Sequence and Gotchi chain.
Yeah, I was curious, did I miss anything about your travels? Are you going West Coast here soon, or
Yeah,
any
yeah.
alpha on that front?
I'll be in San Francisco. Gonna be flying on the 14th.
Yeah, coming up.
So and then
Why
planned.
would
Mhm.
Coder Dan be in San Francisco? What's going on over there?
Yeah.
But no,
Well,
there's a yeah, maybe you can spill the beans, or there's a number of events happening or things that are on your schedule, I should say.
Yeah.
So
Lost Local made some great connections with the. I don't know if you guys have seen the On-Chain Summit. Is happening in SF. That's with like, it's not officially by the base team, but it's like heavily sponsored by base. And there's some big heavy hitters there that they're going to be hanging out. So we're going to Japan, assuming that the whole country doesn't like go under from this mega earthquake. So keeping my eye on that. There's like a mega earthquake warning going on right now with Japan.
yeah, I've
So-
got some news for you on that. I'm deep in the research because we're supposed to
Oh,
have
really?
a kind of extended layover there on our way back to the US.
That's true, man. Yeah. How's it going?
We canceled the extended layover. we,
Ah.
we whittled it down. So now it's just a one night layover, try to minimize the risk. But it's literally the first time in history that the
Yeah.
Japanese government has issued that type of warning. So it's like you got to sit up and pay attention if they've
Yeah.
never issued a mega quake
Mega
warning
quake
before.
It's just like, holy shit. So
I was like, yeah. So I'm talking to, ChatGPT. I'm reading all the local news there, and it seems like it's roughly a 1 week warning of like
Mhm.
this is a highly active time period, and just keep an eye on things and telling locals to be prepared, and hotels that you might be staying at. It's a good idea to ask them like, are you guys stocking up on water? Are you taking it seriously? They're supposed to be. So that kind of stuff. So yeah, the hotel I talked to, they're like, we're stocking up on extra food supplies, extra
Mm.
water. You'll be okay.
Huh.
But yeah, it's crazy stuff. That went out like 2 days ago. They had a 6.8 and a 7.1 within like a
Yeah.
few days of each other. They're saying those are the tremors. I'm like, shit. That's the tremor. What the fuck? The other key part is depending where you're going, they're like, you're in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So the Tokyo hotels are like, yeah, it's going to be fine. It's all about this, like, whatever prefecture in the south. That's the
Mm.
main part. So, like, if you're going to Osaka, it's more risky. If you're going south of Osaka, it's like super risky.
All right.
But Tokyo, yeah, you'd still get the shaking and maybe a tsunami. But if you're not on the
Maybe a
beach, you
tsunami.
should be okay. Yeah, I checked with ChatGPT. I was like, can a tsunami actually like reach the airport? And they're like, no, it will not reach the airport. I was like, okay, sweet.
Is the whole country
So
going to get sucked into the void?
yeah, yeah. I have a
So-
friend that lives in Osaka, and she was like, if Osaka gets a tsunami, that means the whole country, like half the islands, have fallen under the sea. Like it's over. So that won't happen. But yeah, they're seriously talking about a mega quake. The other thing that I guess is the case is it's projected to happen somewhere in the next few decades. Like it will happen,
Mm.
8 to 9.0. But this is the first time they've acknowledged it's like kind of, if it were to happen,
It's
could
the
be
big
this
one.
week. It could be it. So just like shit. Anyway, back to Frisco. You're going to Frisco, and then you're going on kind of an Asia roadshow. We've been putting
Yep.
this together for quite a while. Very excited.
Yeah, we'll be
Uh,
got SF, we're doing the on-chain summit, gonna meet some of our partners out there, base team, get some good FaceTime with them. And then yeah, we're supposed to leave for Tokyo on, I believe it's the 19th. So I mean, we got 9 days. I'm like feeling okay about it. Hopefully things could happen, but we'll see. So yeah, we're supposed to be leaving on the 19th to go to Tokyo, and there's a couple cool events happening. WebX is one of them, and then there's this one called like Tokyo DAO or DAO Tokyo. I forget what the order is, but they're going to be organizing some. I'll be speaking there, and then doing like a workshop around DAOs as well. So it should be pretty cool. Yeah, DAO Tokyo.
Tokyo DAO looks legit. It's a 2-day event. Stanny, I think, spoke there last year or the year before.
Nice.
So you're in good company. And yeah, I think it's just great being Aavegotchi DAO being so active. I think you're probably going to be getting some great intel for on the DAO's behalf, not just like the gaming side. So yeah.
Yeah, we're brainstorming some ideas for this workshop because like I've never really been to like a crypto workshop. I've been to other workshops, but I wasn't really sure. Like we haven't they're giving me an hour, and I'm like, well, I don't want to stand up there and like talk at people. So if anyone has any fun ideas for like what a workshop on DAOs could be, or what people could do during a workshop, just let me know. We're kind of brainstorming some ideas right now.
I mean, yeah, there's so many things, so many directions you can go with that, right?
Yeah.
So probably good to laser focus on one thing, do it really well. But something that people would be interested in and would attend. That's the tricky part. It's like they want
Oh,
the
yeah.
flashy thing.
Well, when I hear workshop, I feel like there's like something that you're doing, like you're working on something. You gotta like, I keep thinking like, I don't know, like finger painting or something. That I'm like, I don't know what comes out of these workshops. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
We had a
Finger
roadmap
painting.
to buying a town.
Yeah. Golden Cross. We were talking about if Ghost goes to the moon one day, we're gonna buy Ghost Town. We'll buy a town and somewhere, call it Ghost Town.
Hey, I'm all for it. I think that's a great idea. My like secret passion is I think like I would definitely get into a DAO that's just like about reinvigorating like rural. This is kind of U.S. centric, but like really rural areas anywhere, I suppose, but especially like U.S. rural towns. If we can buy a town or a
Yeah.
majority of a town and reinvigorate it, I think everybody's doing like new cities and like that kind of thing and like um, flying cars and shit. But what if we could do something on a smaller scale? Yeah, like what Thrax just put in the
Yeah, I
gift
mean,
there.
we have a doctor, right? We already have a doctor. We have a media team. What else?
Yeah, and we'll be the mayor, the treasurer, the whole community club, and then we'll vote to like make really friendly, attractive tax rates to bring in remote work or something. And we'll just go from there.
Well, I was saying
Could be.
we tax the Aavegotchis instead of the people. That was kind of, we can tax the
Oh,
RF and run the government that way.
I could get with that future. Let's tax our avatars. Don't tax me. Let's outsource the taxing.
I mean,
I do.
theoretically, if you want to get into the weeds, when you're registered at birth, that is a corporate entity that you agree to represent. So you kind of already represent an avatar anyway.
That's a very good point. God, mind blown. It's my first NFT. Was my clone legal self. What
Yeah,
about
you
Light Piglet
gotta
here with?
anything in all capital letters. If you look and it's all capital letters, that's what a corporate represents.
Well, perfect transition there. I was about to say Light Piglet with the all capital letters Dicos. He's going old school here, suggesting the bonding curve Dico as your workshop topic, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, bonding curves have kind of taken off. A lot of these like Pump Fun is using them and a couple others. We could definitely use more Dicos. I think the issue with Dicos is that there's like so much regulatory uncertainty on things. People kind of moved away from, like, I've seen a lot of people saying that everyone's just moved away from the ICO model because there's like regulatory uncertainty on it, and it's easier just to do a VC token and like sell it to VCs. Yeah, I wish we could make ICOs were a better model, honestly, than like the low float, high FTV slop that we have these days. But I'm not a lawyer, so I can't go in there and be like, yeah, it's fine. Everyone go do an ICO. You'll be all right.
It was so simple back then. Just have some utility. You're good to
Yeah.
go. You're buying utility. Good stuff. Well, it's going to be a great trip for you, and not just you, but like it's I think we're going to have tours as well at most of these events. We also have other Pixelcraft team members joining you throughout. Lost Local for the most part, but maybe others. So we've got a Solidity dev in Japan that I hope
Yep.
joins you. And
Yeah. So after
should be
Japan,
good.
we'll be going to Korea and doing Korea Blockchain Week. I've always wanted to go to that. I think it'll be really a cool opportunity to meet our crypto counterparts in Korea and get some FaceTime over there. Give them some little friendly gotchis. Gonna be bringing a bunch of little LFGs over there, and just hanging out with Korea. And I was supposed to go to Token, but I'm gonna have to drop on that one. So I believe Lost Local and someone else from the team or a greeter will be going there. Not unable to make it to Token, unfortunately. Yeah, Oliver and Lost Local will be repping that.
Oh, that's a cool combo. Yeah, Token 24/9. It's ironic. I'm in Singapore like at least
Yeah.
6 months out of the year, and I'm gonna miss it. But really glad Lost Locals flying in for it, and glad to know Oliver will be there too. It's basically, I mean, they do it in conjunction with F1, the only or it used to be the only night race for the F1 series. It's like the city is just on fire that week, and Token 2049 is always attached to that. And so, what that really actually means in practical terms is you can't get a hotel room for any reasonable rate. It's just like everybody's there for F1 plus Token. It's insane. So, but always a good time. Do you have any more alpha to spill on the San Francisco? You kind of like breezed through that. I think maybe
Yeah.
we just leave it at that.
Well, one of our big partners, you guys, I'm sure know Alchemy. We've been using them for like a lot of services, including like RPCs and subgraphs. They acquired Satsuma back in the day, so they're one of our biggest partners, and we'll be meeting up with them. Going to be actually hanging out in their office a couple days, so that'll be really cool. And there's some more alpha on that, but can't talk about it yet.
Yeah, but read between the lines. That's super cool. You're going to hang out with those guys in IRL, and we got a lot of stuff to do together. So very, very cool. Very excited that you're going. I wish I could be there. I thought I would be back in the States by now, but
Yeah.
things get delayed. So
So if anyone's in SF and want to meet up, well, we'll be there for 5 days. So pretty decent stay. We'll be around like Union Square area, which is pretty close to everything. So hopefully it's like we don't get mugged or something. I've heard the stories about SF. Haven't been there in about 7 years. But yeah, if anyone's local, feel free to reach out.
there's not much that can change in 7 years. Don't worry, it'll be basically the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna have what's the app? I gotta buy that app or download the poop app, right?
Oh yeah.
I'll stay away from Tenderloin.
You're not gonna have any trouble finding poop.
Yeah, they don't need the app.
Oh man.
And the bums.
What
Is there bum repellent? What should I mean, when I go out, I always make sure, I'm always like dressing super low key, so I don't have like a Gucci, I'm not decked out in Gucci with like a Prada bag or anything. So hopefully the bums won't see me as a target. Well, we were in Europe. My wife and I were just so paranoid in Spain and Barcelona. Like we had, if anyone, some of you guys saw us, but I had I had like a thing for my phone where you like it's like a phone case, but it goes around your neck. So I had my phone in that, put it under my shirt, and then I had like like a sun jacket, like it helps protect against UV, the thing that Vitalik wears. Had that over my bag, which I had like this little black bag that I had all the time. Sometimes I'd even put my phone in that. It's like 2 layers. It's just so ridiculous, but we didn't lose anything. So it's so easy to lose stuff in like train stations and airports. Like you turn around and all your shit's just gone.
You're worried about losing stuff. You're seeing it very nicely.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
I misplaced it.
Yeah, I do. So hopefully at SF they're not just gonna target. There's not bums like coming out with knives and stuff. But we generally like to look poor. I'm like, don't mug us. You have nothing to gain.
Yeah. My first hour back in Chicago, this is 2 years ago, downtown Chicago, like Magnificent Mile, so called. And I had like a random, just encounter with one of these bums, and it was just like very aggressive. Like he was on me. And I was just like what you're describing. Like I was like, dude, I'm just like hanging out. Like regular I got this shit at Target kind of thing. And it's I don't know, man. You can dress low key, but it's just the situation right now. Things are weird. So what's no futuristic say? He said, so nice compared to most other cities. Which city is he talking
Nashville.
about? Oh, yeah, Nashville's chill. I had a great experience in Tennessee. Nashville and Chattanooga. Chattanooga even to a further extent. Like kind of that perfect mid-sized city. Um, yeah, big fan of Tennessee right now. Which I never expected. I was like road tripping through, and I was like, Chattanooga. We'll do a night in Chattanooga. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really really cool. Beautiful cafes, very very cool. Like the hotel we stayed in was like this kind of throwback, um, very like almost like Tennessee's not old South, but like really really local type of architecture, and everybody was dressed like, you know, very classy and suits and talk about the accent and everything. It was just really a whole experience, like end to end. I was like, Chattanooga's cool. They have a personality, very distinct. So, and yeah, like no fear of being mugged or anything. Like none of this San Francisco stuff.
Yeah, light
Well,
piglet. I've seen
cool.
that sign. Please keep your stealing under 950. That's so crazy. So funny. Are we gonna have how about the Gotchiverse? Is it gonna be a safe zone?
Yeah, I don't think we'll have any of these notice signs in the Gotchiverse. They're not going to be necessary. Everybody plays
We
nice.
should.
maybe we should just for fun. If you guys want to do that. No, everybody's been working hard. We had I think you guys know we've had our first official like Sprint 1 kickoff last Monday. So even though the work's been far more in progress since then, like prior to that, the work is officially kicked off. So I would love to share a couple updates with you guys. Dan, you've seen all this. I mean, you're in the trenches with me. So we handpicked a couple like just examples of things we're working on. One that I think the Drop team and the Stratagotchi team and the Mechagotchi's team will appreciate is we want to have a spot in D1 that shows off, gives a chance to advocate for each game that's in the pipeline. And so this is a kind of early in development. It's actually further along now, but I'm just going to tease and share some early work in progress type of footage to scale with a Gotchi.
What is this?
This is like, so imagine the big screen would have gameplay footage or a logo
Oh, right.
or right, and then there's like 3 more screens, actually 4 technically, with you'd have the title at the top and more info on whatever we're promoting. It's designed for games, so it's gonna be like dropped, and it's gonna show off X amount of information about that game, and it's something that you can see. There's gonna be like kind of almost a row of these, an area with a lot of these to promote the various games that are coming to Gotcha Game. Maybe you can interact with it. It could send you the hyperlinks to go to their websites, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's the first thing we're working on is just like how do we make sure that everybody that hops in the Gotchiverse discovers and understands that there are a lot of Gotchi games being made, and so there will be an area dedicated to Gotchi gaming.
Hell yeah.
I see Music Parkour says not a saddle chair. Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
What do you looks chair like, not a saddle chair? Yeah, it's not a saddle chair, but it's a good reminder. We probably need to. We never got the saddle chair wearable, did
No,
we?
it didn't make it in
So-
the wearable contest. I think it didn't get voted in.
We're gonna have to fix that. It may not be a wearable, but there will be a saddle chair in some way, shape, or form in the Gotchiverse. So yeah, the team's clicking along. Sprint 1, we had just like as usual, just everybody's inspired, working really hard. The stuff that's more visual and more fun to show is generally design oriented, obviously. So I'll show you another, like we'll start with like the kind of really early work in progress stuff, but um, this is kind of, it looks like you're on a lunar landing on some foreign planet, but it just goes to show that the just because the world is really flat, we're starting to add, don't worry, we're starting to add some like hills and
Oh, nice.
variety to the landscape. And so what you're looking at there is actually like the beginnings of a potential pond to either, even if we're not fishing on day one, just a place to hang out and chill uh, and kind of a chat zone. So this idea that if you're in this particular area, you're able to chat with each other in a local chat box, that kind of thing. Laggin says flat earther, Jesse. I'm not a flat earther. I draw the line at I go right up to there might be some weird shit in Antarctica. That's where I draw the line. But not
My
necessarily
only
flat.
recommendation is to ask a pilot. Have a sit down conversation with a pilot. What they
Yeah.
And they're gonna say
I
yes,
have
the Earth is flat. Or...
I have
make
that
some
advantage. I got a United Airlines retired captain just down the road from me where I grew up. Next time I'm home, I might just have to bring it up. But to be honest, I'm just not very worried about it.
adjustments. He's like, out of the scope of things that I have an effect on, that is not one of them.
Exactly. Hey, speaking of things we have an effect on, shout out to Thrax if we haven't talked about this, but check out the glitter token in 3D. That's not flat. That is 3D as hell. And it came from a request from our good friend a Mudgeon, the Mudgeon Diamond, original Mudgeon. He's cooking on this project, guys. You guys gotta get involved. He needs artists, he needs writers, he needs designers. I see him tweeting about it every day. He's not joking around. So if that hasn't been called out or you're not aware, uh, Mudgeon is back with a vengeance, and he wants to use glitter token. So I'm fully supportive of what he's up to, and I hope he does it on Gotchi chain. That's all I hope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do this on Gotchi chain.
Yeah.
A couple more teasing images here. I prepared a few before the call. All right, enough of the grayscale stuff. Let's take a look at. Let's get serious. We're very focused on this kind of experience. We're thinking in terms of launch day, D1, and lore.
Ooh.
And if this doesn't tell you lore, we got something coming. We're working on a little something special. This is going to be a very key area of D1, and I can just say I'm a big fan of where this is going. If you guys have played Licky's Escape, you might have some insights to what this is about. So, if you haven't played Licky's Escape, then you're just not going to have any clues here. But this is related. Yeah, the Raffle's looking good. He's chilling. Very, very godlike.
I love those little mini raffles too.
Yeah. Masashi says, I have played, but I'm still confused. Fair enough, fair enough. To be fair, this picture is a little heavy on the purples, and but it just let's say World 1 of Licky's Escape. You don't even have to go that deep into the game. World 1 of Licky's Escape heavily influences this particular area. So, hey, speaking of the creative side, lag and dropping wearables, voxel style, only 35 to go. I mean, that means you've done like hundreds. So that's awesome. They look great too.
They look
I
great.
love
They
the
look
picture.
like you could totally print those out and have them on your desk, like tiny little gotchis, just like we've done with the LFGs. So
Yeah.
cool.
I'm always a fan of the pajama gotchi, so it's really cool to see that in voxel. Dang, very nice, Lagan. We got to get those somehow incorporated into the SDK. If I think
Oh yeah.
that's what Lagan's all about, right? We're gonna get that incorporated, and nobody else has this. Like, you get one NFT, and you get like multiple forms of open source creative artwork to build around with it. It's crazy. All right, I'm afraid I'm
Zipa.
boring you guys. Yeah, multiple. I just said multiple. I didn't.
Multiple.
That's all I said. Let me share a little bit more Gotchiverse updates if you guys like. I want to confirm. Dun da da. When you're in D1, you know
Ooh,
the Spirit
finally.
Force Arena has to actually exist somewhere in the Gotchiverse. Well, there it is. And I can just tell you, when you fly over the edge of this thing, this is kind of a weird sharp angle. When you fly over the edge of it, over the top, you know, if you've been playing SFA like No Future, you know this. There's the like upper level when you escape all the FOMO and you're up at the very tip top. There's kind of like a tower and some almost like the Sears Tower, kind of like things poking up in the sky, antennas. That's all on top. It's to scale, and it's actually like 1-to-1 the Spirit Force Arena. It's pretty crazy. So super stoked for that. That's actually going to be existing in the world, and
You mean the
1-to-1.
actual map is going to be in there?
Well, like the top of the map, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
like
right.
if you can see it on the roof. So if you go to the roof of this building, you see the top of the map with the antennas and the
Oh, cool.
yeah, like right where the FOMO lava stops when you
Not
play a
the
match.
observation tower, like the lounge area, but above that.
Yeah, just above that.
Nice.
Yep. It's sitting on top. Al is asking, in SFA, will gotchis be able to spectate live matches from the observation tower? So that is something it's been on the list for a long time. We want to do it. But at the same time, we want to get Gotchiverse to you guys, and we want to build Gotchiverse. So it's kind of in the backlog for now, to be quite frank. Do you think that that particular feature would move the needle in terms of adoption? I think the answer is no. It's a nice to have. It's kind of like a unique, cool thing, but we need to get on to the Gotchiverse and be ready for Gotchi chain launch. So hopefully we can come back to that very, very soon. That's kind of the general idea. But I love the idea of being able to observe the matches either from the observation tower, like the skybox, or there were other ways panned around, like becoming a sus butterfly and flying around the match and dropping Alchemica and doing all sorts of things like that. So, but spectating already exists in SFA. It's good, it's solid, and it's probably an incremental improvement, but a lot of upfront investment for us to prioritize that right now. That's the only reason it's not at the top of the list. Instead, we have things like, I'm going to leave a wild one here just to show you guys what we're cooking and not say any explanation. Stuff like this.
Oh shit! What's going on
Yeah,
here?
some vivid stuff. So oversharing here, but we'll keep it going. Gotchiverse is cooking. Yeah, we're gonna have all sorts of crazy,
And it's gonna
cool.
it's gonna have actual stuff in it on day one, right? It won't be. It's not just gonna be a big open space.
Oh no, oh no. No, we had this conversation throughout the week. We were talking about like bounce gates and all this, and like the one thing that definitely said, and we know this, is like we don't want a big bare open space.
Yeah.
And so D1's gonna be our kind of like central area full of every inch has something to offer, that kind of thing. On that note, we're running out of time. I know the Dow hour starts here soon. I'm going to leave another mysterious screenshot here. Either myself or somebody, we're going to have to tweet these out in a series and do like a little, get these going on social media. But this is another cool example of some cool areas we're cooking up. And I see Al asking, in terms of rollout, will Gotchi Chain, Gotchiverse 3D release at the same time? I think that's the general plan, right?
Yeah.
We want to have a chain supporting a metaverse that goes live in hand. It's gonna be super sick. So that's
There's
definitely
no
part of
point
it.
in putting in the chain if nothing is ready to be deployed on it. So
That too.
trying
There's
to
gonna be a lot of
definitely
stuff to
trying to sync.
migrate,
Yeah.
right? But it'd be great to have some brand new experiences dedicated to the Gotchi chain. Maybe the last thing I will share is just the team's been working very hard on the HUD, the UI, the basics. So if you go back to Gotchiverse 2D, it was kind of bare minimum what we were able to deliver. Shaping up, it's more like SFA, but it's Gotchiverse. It's very smooth. You'll notice if you look at this image, you've got, for a browser-based experience, you can adjust your quality, you can adjust your volumes, you can check your controls. But because Gotchi Chain, right, you're going to have your player profile. You'll be able to visit that right through the settings menu. And if you are joining the game as a visitor, you don't have a profile yet, then you can see the mockup on the right side, which would even probably prompt you to, we'll have many prompts actually, maybe in other places, to prompt you to create a profile. So it'll be a great onboarding experience. But this was part of the conversation about the bounce skates this week, which is just really the main point of that was to make everyone aware that unlike the 2D one, we are setting up in such a way where you're going to be able to share a URL on social media,
Hmm.
and people are going to be able to jump in and immediately experience the Gotchiverse. And this is going to be huge for, whether it's a KOL or whether it's a community where it's no futuristic running a live stream. Anybody that wants to step up has an audience. Every single person that is part of that audience is going to be able to react and immediately jump in and check out the Gotchiverse. And then throughout that process, hopefully convert into a user, get some gotchis, get some wearables, do some lending, all that good stuff.
Very cool. Yeah, I love that it's
Yeah.
going to be browser based.
Yeah. This browser based really just makes it so accessible. So very, very excited. But I do see it's time to get down to the
All
business.
right, Join has dropped a GIF. Thanks, friends. Get into our dower.